Check it out! Another video, another day. I am back. Anime fans, One Piece fans, what is good? The answer to that question, of course, is One Piece. One Piece is what's good. And today we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 980. Or more specifically, a specific person in One Piece chapter 980. And that would be Scratchmen Apoo. Part of the worst generation who took the whole community by storm this last chapter. Now, prior to this chapter, Apoo was getting a lot of crap and a lot of hate because people are like, he's a sellout to Kaido, he's weak, he's trash, he went under a Yonko, and he hasn't been shown, more or less. People weren't really saying he was weak because he hadn't been shown, but I noticed that a lot of times in the community, when a character has not been shown, but people know of their existence, they just tend to call them trash. I'm not sure why, but they just do. But one of the reasons that people were saying audibly was that he sold out to Kaido, so he must be trash. But no, Kaido is a Yonko. He's ridiculously strong, he has charisma, he's got the power and the just everything to get a whole crew under him. So of course strong people are going to go to him. Just because Apoo went under Kaido does not mean he's gonna be weak. You can't just outright say that. So I never thought Apoo was weak, but a lot of people did. But then what he did this last chapter completely blew the minds of a lot of people and made them completely change their mind. And that was when he went up against Luffy and Zoro and kind of got some hard hits on them. So basically, we know Apoo's devil fruit or whatever. Parts of his body kind of turn into instruments, and he does all this music and playing, and attacks come out of the sound waves, or so it seems. So when Luffy and Zoro, after causing a commotion in the hall, were running off, Apoo basically said to Queen, "You want me to get him?" And the Queen's kind of like, yeah. So Apoo sends these sound waves, and he explodes Luffy, and he slashes Zoro across the chest. And Zoro said, "We can't be taking this much damage this early into the fight." And everybody's like, oh! So Apoo is actually strong. He got a hard hit in on Luffy and Zoro, so much that Zoro was concerned about the damage. And if you look at Luffy, he completely went up in a whole conflagration, like a whole explosion. He was just like, boom! Smoke was coming out of his mouth, and that is definitely portraying that did some damage. And with Zoro, he was like, I don't see the sword, where did the slash come from? And it was a clearly pretty serious slash across the chest. So yes, Apoo did some great damage on them, but now some people are taking it to the extreme and being like, Apoo's overpowered. Apoo is stronger than Zoro. Apoo is stronger than Luffy. Apoo is insane. Whoa, what is happening? This is crazy. Apoo, Wapoo, Apoo the GOAT, and just all these things. And that's really what I wanted to talk about in this video. I wanted to say that I believe Apoo is not overpowered. Despite what he did to Luffy and Zoro, I do not believe Apoo is overpowered. I believe he is HAX. And I know some people are like, same thing. But no, I don't believe it is. So I'm just going to explain what I mean by saying Apoo is HAX, not overpowered. He is not OP, just HAX. So a HAX ability in my book, or what I'm describing as HAX, would be an ability that is extremely powerful and just kind of hacked. Like, it's insane. It's almost not fair how strong the ability is. And the person with this ability can use this ability pretty well, and they can take down their opponents with this HAX ability. But once you get past that ability, they're not really able to do much else. Like, once you figure out how to get past the HAX ability, the seemingly unbeatable ability, then you can take them down relatively easily. Now, I'm not saying Apoo can't do a single thing without his devil fruit. I'm not saying he doesn't have hockey. I'm not saying he can't box. But I'm saying, just from first looks, and just how Apoo has been kind of portrayed, how he went at Kizaru, and just the nature of his ability, that's an ability that somebody would tend to rely heavily on. And now Apoo, he's got this HAX ability. He can explode people, slash them across the chest with sound, and whatnot. But once that's taken away, I don't believe he's going to be the strongest guy out there. I think that this was indicated when Apoo, he does that whole thing on Luffy and Zoro, that whole bing bada boom on the two. But then Kid sees him. Kid gets triggered about Apoo betraying them, and he goes at Apoo with his Punk Gibson. You know what I mean? That was a hype moment. But anyway, Kid goes at Apoo with Punk Gibson, and you can see Apoo did not really have time to clap back before Kid got at him, I don't think. It was just kind of like, oh no, Kid's right there, I can register that, but I can't do anything about it, I'm about to get hit. And when Apoo saw that, he's like, Kid! Oh crap, I'm about to get bodied, or something like that. Not necessarily he's about to get bodied, but he knew he was about to get hit hard. And when Kid Punk Gibsoned him, yes, you could see he got hit hard, just like smushed beneath the weight of the metal arm and all of that. But my point is, Apoo, he just seems HAX in that scenario, because he didn't hockey up his arm and go like fight back. He didn't use his devil fruit to, I don't know, musically strengthen his arm and block. It was like he couldn't block. Kid just completely speed blitzed him, and Apoo couldn't do a thing because his HAX ability wasn't in place to counter it. So that's what I mean by Apoo being HAX. If you're talking about somebody who's overpowered, somebody like, say, Whitebeard. Whitebeard does have a HAX devil fruit, an overpowered devil fruit even. Because HAX abilities also, I more or less think they're like really strong, but they do have some kind of discernible weakness. But with Whitebeard, yes, the Quick fruit is extremely strong, and it probably doesn't have many discernible weaknesses, but that's not the extent of Whitebeard's strength, if you know what I mean. Whitebeard's got Conqueror's Hockey, he's got the Color of Observation, the Color of Armament, Conquerors, all of that good stuff, and all of that together makes him into the man he is. So, just because if he's not able to use his devil fruit, that doesn't mean he's going down. He's got his Basento. He's got his hockey. You know what I mean? And with Apoo, as I said, I'm not saying Apoo can't use hockey, but just by that panel with Kid, how when Apoo couldn't use his HAX ability, Kid got the drop on him big time, and he was clearly scared when he saw a Kid coming at him and realized he couldn't do anything about it. That just says HAX to me. He's not overpowered, just HAX. He's got a HAX devil fruit, strong ability, but once that gets taken away, he can't do all that much. Like, he can do a little bit. He can probably box a little bit. Like, he's part of the long arm tribe, you know, the whole long arms, double the distance, like bam, bam. But still, probably not that much, because he's HAX, not overpowered. That's my first thoughts, my initial thoughts on the chapter on Apoo specifically in relation to that. Thank you for watching. Tell me below in the comments if you believe he's HAX or if you think he's actually overpowered or strong. Obviously he's strong, HAX ability or not. I'm not saying because his ability is HAX he's weak. I'm saying I just think he's kind of a HAX person, sort of like a glass cannon, sort of like Cracker. Maybe not as much of a glass cannon as Cracker, but still just kind of HAX ability. Beyond that, it's pretty easy to take him down. Now, yes, I know this is the first time in a while I've actually kind of spoken on the events of a chapter. I'm going to be trying to do that more. I might be doing like even chapter analysis or something like that. That remains to be seen. But I'm going to be trying to get back into the business of getting on top of a chapter after it was released. I know this video even was a little bit late, but I'm gonna be trying to get more on that. If you're new to the channel or anything like that, I would appreciate it if you subscribe, because, you know, we're at 450 right now. We're trying to get to 500. So if you want to subscribe, feel free to do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, and only if you enjoy my content, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more One Piece content. And I'll see you in the next video. Right.